like I said, there's going to be a lag, so I'm just going to go into what I have prepared, and then maybe I can come back around with some questions and answers. Um, I guess first and foremost, I want to thank Kayla, Saint Rock Media, all the sponsors for having an event like this. I think I've been having a vision, something similar to this for the past decade of helping the church become more visible online. As you can tell, I'm a Pittsburgh native, you know, and it's a smaller church there, and we really wanted to grow our church online, with means and financial obligations. It wasn't really the best suited. So now with the quarantine in place, we're kind of forced, with going the live stream route, which is awesome. I am really thankful for the Broward Church and all of the things that they're outputting. I really look to Tony and his leadership, to kind of help us at GLB. I guess I'll preface that I am the media director at GLB Church, under Ruben Deanda and Marina Deanda, and it's just awesome to be able to have the ability to have technology to help us do that. But so um, what's going to happen whenever you don't? Sorry, I'm checking text messages people send to me. What happens whenever you have people in your congregation who are maybe below the poverty line and they don't have access to the internet, or some of them are elderly and they don't know how to check their Facebook accounts or even have Facebook accounts. So a lot of that stuff I wanted to kind of go through today. I think that a lot of the solutions that I have, they're not elegant, but whenever we're in such a modern world and we have all of this technology, a lot of the things that we need to do to help these people, they're not really going to be elegant. They're going to be things that we've done in the past, or maybe some of the new things that we're able to do. And I think that if Jesus was able to wash the feet of his disciples, then we should be willing to go and help out those who may not be able to be as technologically advanced as most of us are. It actually makes me think of Luke 15:4, maybe not from the perspective of seeking the lost, but I think it's an amazing analogy, for those who are fortunate enough to use modern technology. And it reads, "Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and it loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it?" So I think the same thing with this topic is, now more than ever, we need to build a way to preach to the world, while we're quarantined, but we need to make sure that we're hitting all of our targets. And with such a heavy focus on people online and technology and social media, and while that's great, we need to again remember, those less fortunate, or the elderly people. Um, so I apologize, guys. This is a weird setup. I'm going through this vMix call, and I'm not able to see chats and everything. So please just bear with me. Um, let's see. So it's really important that that your church, that our church, we have a buddy system in place. So everybody in the community, they're making sure that they're in communication with their the people in their family groups, calling them. I know a lot of people I've seen on social media. A lot of people are having Zoom calls and Hangouts and house parties, and I think that's amazing. Um, and but again, what happens whenever someone doesn't have the internet? Or there was someone in the live stream portion that proposed the question of, well, what if I need to do like an FM transmission, like on a radio station for those who don't have a smartphone? And we've kind of at GLB we've found some of those solutions. We're still working through some of them now, and we'll go through those. So to continue on, some of the ways that we can help out people. I think I have maybe like 4 or 5 ways. So people that already have access to the internet, but maybe they're not too savvy with social media, or like it's my mom and she has a Facebook account, but she contacts me every week trying to figure out what her password is. I think it's really important. And what I've done with her outside of this quarantine is I've just created a document where I can share it with her, and it is it's probably one of the most detailed things that I've ever written in my life. And I've been privileged to write proposals for like government for government proposals, like 300-400 pages. So whenever I say that, like, it needs to be very, very thorough for someone who's elderly, who needs to have a step-by-step process for them, and something that they're able to go back to and reread 5 or 6 times, just so that they can get a grasp on what they actually have to do. Videos are really great, and we use those as well. But like I said, it's very, very, very good to have something in written form, whether it be a Google Doc, an actual Microsoft document, or Pages if you're using a Mac, or whatever you choose to use. You can send them a written letter if you need to. But I think that it's also very important to be aware of the what do they call it? The silent generation, the people that were born 1954 and earlier. The usage of Facebook alone, it's grown 20% over the course of 1 year, from 2018 to 2019. So the assumptions can be made that their families are moving a little bit further away and they still want to connect with them. So they're getting a Facebook account. They're gaining some kind of social media. So a lot of the people that we're trying to reach there, they already have the access to the account, but some of them might forget the password. They might not store it properly, or so on and so forth. So that's where the document really comes into play. But it's really encouraging that there are a lot of people within that generation, that one of those targets that we can hit, that have Facebook, because we can actually get them a Facebook live stream. And I don't want to go into the live stream stuff, because there was 2 sections on it, and I talked with Kayla, and we agreed that we could have like a week-long convention just about live stream. But if you have questions about live stream, I'd be happy to field them now. I'm probably not the best to answer them. I have a couple guys that I work with at GLB that really go above and beyond and help us with our live stream. But Facebook it's going to be really great for some of those elderly people. Getting to the people that don't have internet, that they maybe don't even have a computer for whatever reason. Maybe they just don't have it. They're a little bit older than those people, the silent generation, or they're just below the poverty line. I know a lot of school districts, they're using, or they were using Zoom to have like an online class, and that's great, that their school district actually had that. But there are other school districts out there that they don't have the ability to do that. So some of the things that they're doing, we can take a page out of their book, and we can really help facilitate to some of the people that aren't able to hear our live streams. So one of the main things that we're actually doing at GLB to facilitate that, well, side story, we found out a couple weeks ago that our mature ministry, it's one of our family group leaders, they were creating a Zoom meeting, and then they were taking their phone and they were putting it next to their computer, and then all of the other people that didn't have access were calling in just so that they could hear the audio. So when I heard that, I was like, man, this is so encouraging that people want to hear the word that much. But then I was also like, well, we can make that so much better. Like, let's figure this out. So my guy Eddie Rivera, I think he's watching too. He's probably in the comments somewhere. I was like, my guy Eddie Rivera. Kayla, you talking to me? I was like, Kaylee talking to me? Let's see. Sorry, more technical difficulties. I think someone needs to teach this class and help me. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. Um, yeah, so I said that we can make that better, and we decided that from one of our paid accounts, we have the $14.99 a month. We just created a Zoom call, and then we had the meeting ID, and then we sent that out with our email blast in the morning with our live stream to everybody, so that people could just call in from their their landline phone, their non-smartphone, and they could put in that meeting ID when they're prompted, so that they could hear our crisp and clean audio. Now we have all of the technology to get the audio from our soundboard into that Zoom meeting, but you could easily do it just with a call, or however you're doing it, whatever you have going on. I think the last thing that I kind of wanted to touch on, before I can see how I can do some questions and answers, is maybe some of the extreme circumstances. And I kind of touched on this a little bit before, but we've started looking into, and I don't want to cause panic here. It's just like an extreme contingency with, with the quarantine, and if it gets to a point of a little bit worse than where we're at now. I've started the process of figuring out how to get licenses from the FCC of how to have like an FM radio station, or to even have like a leased TV network, because we have a lot of the stuff now. We're able to do that at GLB, so we would be able to facilitate that to people without them actually having the internet. They would either need a radio, or a television with bunny ear antennas, or like a digital antenna. So that, like I said, that's like an extreme for us right now. And I haven't gotten any of that stuff yet, but we still just want to make sure that if things do get worse, we're still able to preach the gospel, and we're still able to get the word out there. And I think it's important to remember that it's not just for the members in our congregation. It's also for people outside. For like my family, like I share these links to them. I share the numbers with them in case they want to call in, because they have their home churches back in Pennsylvania, and if they don't have the access to this stuff, I want them to still be able to hear the word preached.
Life will consume you if you let it control you. The prince of this world is on her own for souls, and you got a lot to lose. Tell me, what are you gonna do? Which one will you choose? You can't have both. What good would it be to gain the world, yet lose your soul? I'm talking about your soul. Show me your heart. Show